Hey everyone, Coach Powers, and here's another question from the comments asking, am I tapering too fast? And this is a comment that I've seen 1,000 times, and it looks different for everyone, so I didn't even include any kind of example because everybody's different. I mean, you could be doing a micro taper, and people will ask me, am I tapering too fast? I've had clients, dropping 0.25 of Klonopin every 2 weeks or 3 weeks and going, is that too fast? Yes, that's too fast. Let me tell you, that's probably too fast. But really, let me step back and answer this in a more subjective or objective way, because we all have our thoughts on this. In reality, everyone's different. I mean, that's the uncomfortable answer here. Everybody is different. So what's too fast for one person isn't too fast for another person. The question really is it too fast for you? Are you tapering too fast for you? Doesn't matter what your neighbor or your friend on, insert benzo forum or whatever. It doesn't matter what they taper at and how fast and what their experiences are. How fast is too fast for you? And also consider what other variables are happening around you. What other things are going on? Are you fighting with your significant other? Are you in the middle of a move? Are you dealing with some health issue? Is there you have a friend or family member that you're close with that's sick or that's recently passed, right? Is the dog sick? Are the children sick? I mean, there's 1,000 different things that could be going on in someone's life at any moment that can increase massive amounts of stress, depression, fear, jealousy, anger, right? And this all matters. It greatly matters in a taper. That's the thing about the benzo community. I think we tend to ask these questions sort of as though it was all black and white. So when you think about a question like, am I tapering too fast? You can see and hopefully appreciate from my perspective, well, that's a really hard question to answer, because it's not so much about the tapering speed of the actual taper as well as it is, or additionally as it is to all these other factors. So when I had things going pretty smoothly in my life as I was tapering, it took me 2 years to taper off 20 milligrams of Valium. There were times I was dropping a milligram every 2 weeks. I was just cruising on it, sometimes a week. I was just moving. Things were, I was, sleep had improved, and I was doing the right kind of lulling and breathing and meditating and exposures. And I was just really, my mindset was getting good, getting better. And then there were times that were tough. Fights with family, motor blows up, life stressors, maybe just a bout of insomnia out of nowhere hits me and boom, derails me for a couple months, So what did I do? I slowed my taper down. And that leads me to my next piece of advice here is be flexible. If things are going good and you feel like tapering a little faster, fine, great. And if it's going a little tougher and you have to slow down, slow down. But don't just white knuckle it and be too prideful or hard-headed and just say, I'm just going to keep moving forward no matter what, damn it. Because that attitude, and sometimes and many times that attitude is towards the benzo anyway. It's towards big pharma. It's toward the doctors and psychiatry. And we're just so angry. It's almost like we think we're punishing them by, I'm just going to force myself through this. You're not. They don't even care. They don't know. You hurt only yourself, so don't do that. Be flexible, ebb and flow. There's a science and there's an art to all of this. Keep in mind that there's an art to it. And so just because so-and-so said to you, you have to taper at this speed and you have to do this every day. No, you don't. Actually, no, you don't. You can hold, you can move faster, you can switch things around, you can be flexible, and you can adapt, right? As a general rule, for me, I think 1 milligram of Valium per 2 to 4 to 6 weeks reduction is a pretty good speed. That's what I recommend. Aiming at 1 milligram every 4 weeks, you're pretty much on target. If you reduce by 1 milligram of Valium every 2 weeks, you're really cruising. Great job. Lucky you. And if you're sometimes having to, taper 1 milligram of Valium every 6 weeks, then I consider that on the level of a micro taper. You're going pretty slow at that point, right? Now, all that said, guys, remember, it's also about all the other factors. For example, it don't matter how you want to taper. If your rumination is out of control and you're not being able to manage it, you're not doing the right things to bring that into control. It's going to be a hell of a lot harder journey, isn't it? Conversely, if you are able to do the right things, foster neuroplasticity, building new healthier pathways, learning healthier coping mechanisms, getting off the doom and gloom forums, creating an insulated environment of positivity and great support, really working on your recovery like a champ, I bet you will find yourself able to taper a lot faster and a lot more efficiently than you might be thinking.